Well, sunshine, any of you guys that's been around me long enough to know when I'm smiling this big is because I blew something up. Oh, you all right, bud? He's not breathing. He's not breathing. He's not breathing. Get me some fluids. Get me some fluids. Come on. Come on. Come on. You can do it. Come on. You can make it. You can make it. Come on. Come on. Pupils are fixed and dilated. Just will pull the plug. And I don't get in a bad mood. I just, oh, you got to laugh and grin and bear with it. Now, I wasn't actually going to even show this saw build on the channel, and I'm still not going to show it all. But I'm going to tell you, first thing we did, Ryan, Wolf Creek Saw Shop. Now, I'm going to say Ryan's been getting me parts, but none of these failures are due to Ryan. They're due to the fact that I'm a hack, and the fact that I'm a hack keeps Ryan in business because I just keep ordering more and more stuff. Anyhow, we put a double ring. We did a piston swap on this big bore, and this piston, of course, don't belong on this saw, or it wouldn't be called a piston swap, would it? You can see that piston has got a big old gouge out of the top. Now, I run that saw a little bit and put it on, not like that. I run it and put it on a dyno, and it was pretty good. It was pretty good. Let's see those dyno pulls right quick. 366 big bore piston swap. Here's run one, 6.43 horsepower. We're starting to make some gains on it, aren't we? 3.76 foot-pounds of torque. We're stretching out to near 14,000 RPMs at around 4 horsepower. It takes a foot-pound and a half of torque basically to spin my dyno up, so you'd be lemming stuff up in here. Peak horsepower is up here around 10,000, 10.5. It's kind of peaky is what I'd say. It don't come up. It's not very flat banded. But let's put her on dyno and run her again. Okay, now you see we blew her up right there on the dyno. It wasn't a big explosion, but she quit on us, didn't she? When I took it apart, that piston was missing that gouge right there, and just ruined the inside of that cylinder, of course. So we'll put that over on the wall of shame. And when the rings come out, they come out similar to this. No, that one's a ring out of something else. Anyhow, the rings come out similar to this, pieces and parts. So I called Ryan and said, send me another one. So he sent me another one. And I just got it back together. And we used a single ring piston, and I'll tell you, I'm running Caber rings, but the fact that these rings broke is not the ring's fault. I was running a double ring piston, and me being the hack I am, caught it in the intake port. Okay? This piston's pinned both on the intake side, unlike a normal 361. So that bottom ring dropped into it. I didn't think it was going to. Well, I knew it was close, so I tried it. I should have just pulled the piston out, and we'd probably be far steps, or I should have pulled the ring out of the piston, and we'd have been a lot farther along what we are now. But I digress. So Ryan sent us another one. I took an OEM piston. Not for this saw, but an OEM good quality piston, and put in it. Made sure we ain't gonna hang a ring in the bottom again. I learned slow, but I learned. Put it back together, and we done some test cuts on it. This thing's got too much compression to suit me right now, but I'm gonna run it once. It's got 250 pounds of compression after idling for a half a tank, or a full tank, idling for a full tank. It's a single ring piston, and it's been thinned, and we're at 250 pounds compression. And we're still on a stock Farmer Tech rod, so that's why I'm videoing every single thing this thing makes, because she may blow again. That's also running an 8-pin sprocket on, like I say, 60 driver hand file C83. And we put her on dyno, and it did all right. It wasn't quite as good as the first iteration, but my compression was 250 psi, and oh shucks, timing was, let's see if I can find it back here. Yes, now I'll give you the first ray of light numbers. Squish was 20 thousandths, exhaust was 103, transfers was 129, intake was 71 and a half. Nope, that was the very first one. The second one, this piston and this cylinder was at 105 exhaust, 131 transfer, 72 on the intake, 19 on squish, compression of 250. Oh, I didn't like that compression, right? But we did. We survived the dyno on it and survived everything else. So I pulled it down today and started grinding on it. That was absolutely no port work and no machine work on that cylinder, other than I had to take 70 thousandths off the base to get this piston to work. So where did that leave us? Well, we took and ground and hogged and ground and hogged and opened up the lower transfers, raised the exhaust to 98 degrees, transfers to 123, intake to 73, and we took some off top of the piston. We went in straight for the squish band for about 300 thousandths, took a 28 degree taper up to basically the combustion chamber, and then I left the button. Today I took and just carried that 28 degree taper all the way to the center. All right, got rid of some compression there, plus we jacked the exhaust up a few degrees. That's my wife's, I guess. Huh. She must have been when she hit me with the frying pan. She must have had a hair stuck to the frying pan. So we got those timing numbers in it and let her sit out there and idle for a bit, and then I put her on dyno. Hassenpfeffer OEM piston swap, 98 compression, 98 roof, 205 compression, 123 transfer, 70, crap, what was it, 73 intake? So catastrophic failure again. Now, I didn't record pulling this cylinder off, but when I let it cool down, I don't like pulling a saw apart when they're hot. I seem to pull threads out of stuff where threads shouldn't go, right? Or where they shouldn't come out. So I let it cool down, and by then that piston had seized. I couldn't get it out. I had to put a block under it and crank the flywheel just to pressure that piston out of there. So we put the piston back on the lathe. Oh, I'm letting secrets out of the bag. We put the pistons on the lathe, and it had a gouge up on it that upset it, and I zeroed that in just as close as I can and just took that gouge off and took another maybe 0.5 thousandths off the piston. I hope I don't get piston slap out of it, because I was about right. I've had this piston on the lathe about 3 times trying to get the piston clearance just right. The cylinder, she's got a gouge from, well, look at that piston. It's got a gouge that starts, it's not on this one, but it's got a gouge that starts right there and goes within about a, starts right there and goes within about 1/4 inch of the top. You can feel it. Sent my old Duma floppy down through there. I decided it's already ruined, and I've never ruined 2 saws in one day, or 2 builds in one day. So I put her back together. We got to be down on compression a little bit because of that gouge, and we got to be fouling the bottom end a little bit. We got to have some blow by, but let's start it up. Yeah, put her back together. I'm learning my mistakes, and I don't know what caused this one to blow, that gouge. It ingested something. Now, I've run it quite a bit since those rings were inside there, but the inside of these cases, it's not paint like a steel case. It's almost like a rubberized thick. There was a little pock mark in there earlier, and I dug around in there with a screwdriver to make sure nothing was in there. Maybe I dislodged something and didn't find it. But whatever made that scratch couldn't have been as big as a small grain of sand. It was small. And no, I wasn't running an air filter on it. I got one, but I wasn't running an air filter when I blew it up. But I don't think it went in there. I really don't. It was on dyno, and as much as this ain't clean, it's still it's not a dusty environment. So we're gonna see if this thing will fire up right quick. Oh, the other thing that might have happened, when it blew up that one there, it sent rings. Now, another thing that might have caused it, when I blew that up, it sent pieces of that ring into that muffler. And that muffler had been muffler modded. And I sprayed it out with brake cleaner, done this, done that. I don't think anything was in it. But this failure, while it was my fault, wasn't a fault of my build. It ingested something. Now I might, okay, you see my workbench. Could there have been something in there? Sure, there could have been a screwdriver bit in there, which is my fault, but I'm just saying it's not, the parts all coming together the way I built them is not the problem, if that makes sense. Let's see if she'll start up. She kind of already started a while ago. Oh, the original dyno was 73 intake. Now after I pulled it back apart, and I ain't even put a timing wheel on it, we gained that, we took about 60 more thousandths out of the intake, so we're probably pushing 80. I don't know, I'm just guessing. She's a little lazy off the throttle, and I can see it blowing back a little bit when it's right down there at idle. You can see it's blowing back a little bit. Shut up, my turn to talk. You can see it's blowing back a little bit, but I think Guys, I've never blew up 2 saws in one day. Or never blew up, I don't think. I know I've never blown the same saw up twice in one day. So let's put it on dyno. That's the best opportunity. Well, we put it on dyno again. We've gained some horsepower now. We're up to 7.14 and 4.05 foot-pounds of torque, and we're stretching out at around 11.5. The peak's a little over 1,000, but it's fairly broad in between here and there. So she's starting to stretch out again. Well, smile's off my face now. We didn't even blow it up this time. But anyhow, she did all right. We opened up that intake some more. That evidently gained us some. And we also changed the muffler. I had a single outlet muffler on there. That could account for part of it too. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you hanging around. I know this was a goofy video. If you watched it this far, man, I appreciate it. Guys, get down there in the comments, tell me what you think. Talk to you guys later.